I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and estro control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today.
Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement.
Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, good morning, angels, and welcome back to Morning Ray. I'm your host, Lan, or Alana, and I'm really excited for today's episode. I have my friend Spencer, who is actually a pretty long-term follower and supporter of mine, and I thought this episode would be really fun. As you could tell by the title, it's Listener Asks All, so I had her ask me everything and anything. We start a little more PG or G and then move into some R-rated things. It was recorded a few weeks ago, so obviously boy stuff has situated and changed, but it gets really juicy. I unveil a lot of things about my personal life, and she asks the questions that I'm sure all of you are wondering as listeners, whether it be things from marketing and influencing to jealousy with friendships, both in the influencer world and outside of it, boys, dating, some funky situations with guys, and I don't know, juicy stuff like unfiltered conversations. I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet, but enjoy if you are a guy who I've gone out with before. Maybe exit out of this episode. I don't reveal any names, but I don't know. Proceed with caution and don't yell at me. Thank you. Everything is, I don't know, whatever. We're just putting it out there. You're getting a new side of Lan today. But I have just gotten back from doing a shoot. I was doing a photo shoot for my friend Jess Freed's line, Dainty Diamond, for their website, new e-commerce photos, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like a full circle moment for me. I've done a little bit of modeling in the past. Obviously, this is like not like, I don't know. It was still like a really great experience and obviously like very like full force, but it was like definitely like a full circle moment because I remember being like 14 and applying to all these modeling agencies in Toronto because I really wanted to model, but always being told I was too short or I was too tall to be a kid model, too short to be an adult model. didn't have the right look, etc. So to be able to try this out and kind of get more experience under my belt and kind of live out this dream is really cool and awesome. And thank you, Jess, if you're listening to this. Jess was actually on the pod a few episodes ago. Well, a little more than a few. Let's figure out what episode she was on, but I'll have it linked in the show notes as per usual. But I think she was, this is episode 80. Jess was, wow, really long time ago. Jess was episode number 17, back from March 2021, so over a year ago. You can go check that out, but it's about navigating post-grad life. And her journey was starting Dainty Diamond. Obviously, that was a year ago, and things have changed since then. But definitely go recommend checking that out. But I just came back from that shoot, and it was an incredible experience. I loved everyone that I got to work with, and it was truly just a great environment. And I know a lot of people think modeling can be super cutthroat or photographers can be super rude and say harsh things, but my experiences, and I did a shoot last summer for a skincare line. It was like in the pool and everything, and I've had nothing but great experiences so far. So definitely go check out Dainty Diamond. I love their stuff. I believe I'm going to have an affiliate link if the other one isn't still active, but that was just a really surreal moment, and I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity to live out my dream and meet amazing women and people. But let's get into my weekly intention. My weekly intention is to really encourage myself to keep my space clean. The past week, I've been a bit more anxious and overwhelmed, and not that my space was necessarily messy, but it was definitely messier than I would have liked it. A lot of miscellaneous things left on my kitchen island kind of has become like this dumping ground for me, and I cleaned it up yesterday. If you follow my stories, you would have seen on Friday that I like had felt very overwhelmed and kind of just like let my apartment go to chaos a bit. So my intention for this week is to really keep a clear space, because a clear space equals a clear mind. I find a lot of the times when I'm anxious or overwhelmed, my space starts to reflect my mind, hence what it did last week. So I really want to ensure a clear space and clear mind, and encourage that by leaning into my self-care practices. So try journal. I haven't really been journaling, guys. Try journal, keep my space clean, working out consistently, going for runs. Runs have really been a game changer for me, both mentally and physically, and eating home cooked meals, because this past week was also like chaos. We went up to Beach House last minute for a few days, and then like the rest of the week was kind of chaotic. So I also went out so much last week. I was drinking every day but Thursday. Like I've drank Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I was literally, last night I was out till 4 a.m. Let me know. Girls gotta do hot girl summer, but everything in balance. Find a little bit more balance this week. So that's my intention. Just do things that really make me feel good. And tip of the week is, when you're feeling overwhelmed or feeling out of like your routine, just like give yourself little baby goals that you can work towards, stuff that's super achievable, so that when you achieve them, you feel extra good. And not only are you feeling extra good about completing those things, but those are things that make you feel better, so mentally, physically, emotionally, etc. So those are my weekly intentions and tips of the week. Current favorites. I have been loving just like super natural makeup, if any, just like super chill. I've also been very much into Lambo's, which is a sandwich place here in Toronto. Really good. Really like the grilled veggie sandwich. It's almost like a sub sort of situation. So roasted or grilled veggie sandwich. I also like the caprese. I am having dairy a bit again. I've been finding the skincare helps more than cutting out dairy, so we're just doing that. And I want to say running. My running series that I've started again on TikTok is a current fave of mine, and I just feel really inspired and good when I run, and I love how I feel when I run, and I'm just obsessed with that again right now. And Oh, I got a bunch of new things from Umbra for my apartment that I really like. I got this gold arched leaning mirror, which is stunning, and I feel like it just pulls everything together. I also really like my prints. I have prints from Desenio in my living room above my couch. Well, right now they're leaning on my couch. I'm looking at them, and I have to hang them up. Not really sure how to do that. We'll figure that out. And I also love my prints in my bedroom, which are from Opposite Wall. Opposite Wall is Montreal-based. Desenio, I think, is American. But I'm working with them on social. So definitely check that out. I'll put the links in the show notes and my discount code so you can check it out and save, which is super exciting. But those are my current faves. I hope that you enjoy this episode. Again, it's really chaotic and fun, and I hope it helps you guys feel a little bit closer to me and get to know who Lan is outside of like her socials and what I'm like with my friends and whatnot. But I hope you enjoy this episode, and yeah, enjoy. So I'm here with our special listener and a friend, Spencer. Welcome to the pod.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. We're doing a really exciting episode. Spencer is going to be asking me all the questions. We're going to be spilling some tea. Nothing is off limits of what I know. I don't know. We'll see what gets asked. But get ready for a really juicy episode. We have tequila and Olipop on the sides. Oh, and a little bit of lime. So things are going to be spicy. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what I'm in for. I have not seen the questions, and I'm not just saying that to say, like, I haven't seen the questions. I literally have not seen the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's going to be a surprise.
It shall be fun.
I'm going to start, like, less juicy to juicy. So we'll get spicier as we go.
Okay, so you better listen to the end if you want all the juicy tidbits.
Yeah. Gotta save something for the end. Okay, so first question, I'm going to start light. But how do you deal with comparison between your friends who are also in the same industry?
I think at first it was honestly really hard because as girls, like, we're taught to compare ourselves to each other and be super competitive. And like, especially on Instagram or TikTok. I mean, TikTok wasn't really there when I started. Wasn't there. I think maybe it was Musical.ly, but it can be easy to like compare numbers and see like, oh, like this friend is like, her page is growing a lot faster, she's getting more likes, or it seems like people like her more, or maybe you're comparing the content. But what I've learned is we each have our own thing and we're each on our own path, and why not lift each other up and work together? Like, that's what me, Trin, and Kaylee do, opposed to being competitive with one another and pushing other people down in order to lift ourselves up. So I just remind myself that there's a spot for everyone and that my content is just as good as theirs, and we're all going to put out something that means something to us, and we can use each other for inspiration. And like, there's no use in being super competitive with one another. Yes, maybe you can motivate yourself by seeing their content. Like, oh, maybe you see like your friend making this super cool piece of content and that motivates you to maybe try a different angle when you're filming or to put out a different type of piece of content. But I feel like that's how I navigate. I try to flip my mindset and like reframe it so that it's thinking in abundance, that there's room for everyone, and a more positive outlook.
Okay, and then also not just people in the industry, but have you seen any of your current like your friendships, has there been any jealousy of your success from like your friends who aren't in social media? And has that like ruined any relationships you've had?
I feel like maybe at the beginning, like girls who maybe tried to start and then didn't really continue doing it because maybe they weren't as motivated or whatever. Like, I feel like maybe it's been jealousy towards me because I've continued to work hard. But like, sometimes it depends. Like, I don't hear everything, obviously. I like try not to like be involved in gossip culture, but I know like people from like my high school and like old university definitely, there's no way that they don't speak about me and like other people who are like putting themselves out there. I think that comes with putting yourself on the internet and being vulnerable and like trying to like take it quote unquote seriously. So I'm sure there is jealousy.
But none of like your friendship, like close friendships?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Okay, have you ever had any bad experiences with like a brand deal? Like never got paid? I don't know if you can say the names.
I'm not going to say brands,
Yeah,
but I have had several brands where I've always been paid, but it's kind of like I have to stay on top of them and nag them. And as much as like I obviously want to get paid, it's really, I go back and forth because I'm like, I don't want to keep nagging them. Like, I don't want to seem like greedy or anything, but like, no, I'm like entitled to this money and everything. I once had one brand, this was like a commission-based thing, and it was early on into quote unquote influencing, and they had used my post as like an ad during Black Friday and Boxing Week. And they had approved the copy, so like that's the caption, and I had my discount code, which like gave an increased discount on whatever promos they had going on, and they put a big ad spend behind it. So lots and lots of eyes were seeing it, lots of people were clicking on it, and as a result, because I was making a percentage of every sale that they got through that link or with like my code, I made a lot of money from it. And this brand like stressed like you got instant payout like from the commission platform, and like there's no like strings held, like you get whatever you earn. And at first, whenever like I would withdraw the money, like, because this was like thousands of dollars, like this was just under like 10 grand, like it was a lot of money because they put a lot of money into the ad, so a lot of people were seeing it. And like obviously if there's another discount code, like people are gonna stack things. So at first, like I was getting my instant payout whenever I did it, and then at one point, like the last two payments, which were around like $2,000 each, like they would get like halted. Like I would request like to withdraw the money and it would go to PayPal or whatever, and like it wouldn't go. Like it would say like it wasn't approved or like it was processing, and I had to like keep going back and forth with them over emailing, and got to the point where I had to like threaten legal action. I mean, my brother-in-law's a lawyer, so like that's my legal action, but I had to like threaten it to kind of scare them, to get them to pay me. It ended up being like the only way we can move forward is if you use your code in an organic way. I'm like, but you approved the caption and the copy and everything.
So
like,
after they saw how well you were doing, they were like,
yeah, they're like, if you want to continue working with us, you have to use a different code and only generate commission and sales in an organic way when it was like they're doing like the caption got approved by them.
So do you still like work with that brand, or is it done?
I don't work with them. I haven't worked with them since then. Yeah. And whenever I see friends in the space working with them, I just give them like a warning. I'm like, maybe things have changed, but just like, this is what happened to me. Like, just like proceed with caution.
And so how do you like, what is the best course of action, like in terms of messaging when you're trying to like say, here's my money, like, where's my money? Like, what would you recommend for people in the same situation?
Always like stay like super neutral with your tone. Like don't be too aggressive, because you want to remain professional and you want to hopefully like, maybe this is a brand you still want to work with, but unfortunately like accounting is slow or like something happened. Like obviously during the pandemic, like cash flow was a little bit slower than normal. And sometimes there's issues like between like US bank accounts to Canadian bank accounts and vice versa. But just like be clear in like what you want, and always do it over email. Like don't discuss it over DMs. Like keep it on email. That way you have an entire thread of like every type of conversation that's going on. And then you have reference points for if, God forbid, you have to take legal action or get like lawyers in there. But just be like, say the scenario is, so there's like net 30, net 60. That's like how many days you get paid. So net 30 is like, based on your invoice date. So say I invoice July 25th and it's at 30, then I get paid by August 24th or 25th, whatever the math is. Yeah. And say it's past that date by a week. Like you check like your invoice dates, like you're doing like your admin work and you're like, oh, this brand didn't pay me. It was due 10 days ago. I would just like email your contact, always go like on the previous thread of like when you submitted the invoice, just so they have that trail, and just be like, hey, X name or whatever, hope you're doing well. I noticed my invoice is outstanding from this brand deal. It was invoiced on this date and due this date for this campaign. Like be really specific, because these people have a lot of different campaigns. They're working with multiple different people. So like be as clear as possible so that there's no chance of miscommunication and then say like, I was wondering when the payment could be expected. You know, I was expecting it on this day. Please advise, looking forward to your response. Okay. And then sign off with your name.
Okay, that's helpful. Okay. Do you have any blue checks in your DMs right now?
Okay, I literally have no idea who these blue checks are, but I keep getting random, like, verified men.
So no, like nothing good.
Like, no, like, they'll just, like, DM me, like, the eyeball emoji, like, just the eyes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on? I mean, some of my friends are verified, like, Eli Rallo's verified. So, like, we talk sometimes.
But any, like, hot blue checks in the DM?
No.
No?
If you were on my live on TikTok, Coffee Boy is not in my DMs.
Wait, I don't know who that is.
Sean.
Oh.
Sean Mendes is not in my DMs.
We'll get to Sean. Okay. If not a blue check, do you have any, like, fun Toronto, or, like, not even just Toronto, like, any, like, Toronto or anywhere else, like, influencer-ish guys that the people would know in your DMs?
Like, me and Ethan Glenn talk sometimes, but that's literally just friends. Like, I don't have anything spicy
like nothing
for
spicy.
you.
Okay.
I mean, people want to know, like, what's the tea with me and Zach LaRusso.
Oh, yeah. I even wanted to know. I thought you guys were hooking up.
LaRusso isn't even his last name, but we won't talk about that.
Wait, so what's his last name? Is that, like, an alias?
Amid.
So where did LaRusso come from?
It's his uncle's last name.
Oh, so...
Because he didn't want work to find it or something.
Oh, that kind of makes sense.
So it's like his stage name.
Oh, okay. So talk about you and Zach after your sip.
A little ASMR. ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was curious about that too. Okay, so before we hung out for the first time, I would see you guys, like, commenting on each other's stuff, and I was like, they are hooking up.
No. I mean, we have kissed, but nothing more than like a grade 8, grade 9, like.
Does he
kiss.
listen?
I don't think Zach listens, but I don't think he would care.
Okay, so keep going.
Okay, so Zach and I, proper grandma over here. I found him on my For You page in February, like when I went to New York, like around there, like around that time. And I was like, oh, this guy is like super cute. Like he has like a really nice home, super cool vibes, like almost seems like a male version of me. I'm like, I'm going to follow him, whatever. Yeah. And I started like commenting on his things, like whatever. He follows me back on TikTok. I follow him on Instagram because like TikTok isn't really the place to DM.
Yeah.
So I follow him on Instagram. I see that my friend Kenzie also follows him. Like we have a mutual follower. Find out from her, like I message her, like, how do you know Zach? Like, what's the deal? Like, did you go out with him? Like, what's the tea? And she's like, oh, like, I don't like actually know him, but like he's come into, she works in Frankie's in Muskoka, which is like a little boutique and like
that place looks really cute.
Yeah, so she works there and she's like, he's come in or like ordered smoothies or whatever, like knew from like Muskoka, like people that like are there in the summer. And
being super busy can make it really easy to fall into a dinner time recipe rut, or even with your lunches. Any meal, honestly, can get you into a rut, especially with a busy schedule this fall. You can keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. It's truly a no-brainer. It does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-proportioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. It's never been easier. I personally love HelloFresh as a way to get exposure to new recipes, make my life a bit easier as a busy 20-year-old in the city. And I love that it's worry-free, it's super easy, it's convenient, and gets delivered straight to my door. Go to HelloFresh.com/50Ray and use code 50Ray for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/50RAE and use code 50Ray, 50RAE for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Ray.
Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement.
Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
Zach and I would like respond to each other's stories, but never like anything further until one day I would like to add like a note in the morning of that day. I had therapy and I literally told my therapist, I am done with Toronto men. I'm like, I'm not going out with another Toronto man. Like, I'm over it. This was like the day like I came back from New York. I'm like, New York men are so much better. Like, I'm in that pool. Like, I'm over Toronto. Like, it's not going to happen in Toronto. And then Zach, like, and I started talking. I think it was something about coffee.
Okay.
And the conversation just kept going. And then we were talking about, like, our ideal, like, date or, like, partner and whatnot. Like, just, like, goofing around about that stuff. And then he goes, why aren't we at the Leafs game right now? Because there's a Leafs game going on. And I was like, I don't know, because you didn't buy tickets, like, as a joke. And then he goes, me thinking he's still joking, he goes, would you want to go next week on Thursday? Because there's a game the following week. And I was like, sure, like, why not? Like, seems fun. Yeah. He's like, okay, I'll buy the tickets. So then he bought the tickets. Oh, meanwhile, I did not know that tickets right now at that point in time were like $300.
They're so expensive. They're so expensive. Oh, he he spared no expense.
No.
Oh my God.
So I was like, well, now I have to go. And I wasn't even sure. Like, we had only had one conversation. Normally, like, if it's someone like I really don't know, like, I have to have a few conversations to kind of see what the vibes are before.
But I mean, a game is a good first date. So public.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a good first date. Yeah, it was a really good icebreaker.
Yeah.
You can, like,
there's so much to talk about.
Yes, and
like,
drinks,
it's not awkward.
And, like,
yeah,
it's good. It's activity, but like it's not like
fun.
a movie where
where you can't
silent.
talk. Yeah, that's actually such a good first date.
Yeah,
like so much to talk about.
I mean, it's an expensive first date.
Yeah, well, if you're like Zach, then you can go on.
Well, anyway, so we went on that date. It was good. And then we went on another date. We went to Lee.
Okay.
For a second date. So and then, like, we were both, like, really busy and just, like, never had the third date. Like, we kept, like, I think we, like, set a third date and then, like, something came up on my end and, like, I had to cancel it. But then he, like, kept sending me food, like, through Uber Eats, like, to work. Like, one day when I was really anxious, like, he sent me my Impact order. Like, he knew my order. Because, like, obviously, like, he followed me on Instagram and TikTok, so he knew my order. And so then, like, he just, like, kept sending me things, which was really sweet. And, like, I love gifts and I love food. Like, I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
But I was like, Zach, like, at the 3-week mark, I was like, Zach, like, I just don't want another pen pal, because we would just, like, text and, like, sometimes we would FaceTime, but, like, there was no, like, date, like, being made. And, like, I also wasn't going to initiate another date because, like, I had done it once.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. So then, like, I was like, I don't want a pen pal, but I honestly think, like, we could be really good friends. And this isn't the first time I've done this with a guy. I've done this with my other guy friend, David. Like,
honestly, I feel like that's good.
Like, I know when, like, he's meant to be, like, a friend.
Yeah. And I like that you guys have kept your relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you're still, like, you have so many similarities, so it's not like you can't even speak anymore. I feel like it's better that you did it from the beginning.
Yeah. Like, now it's, like, really good. Like, he picked me up from the airport, like, after LA, and, like, we talk all the time. And, like, the first night when I moved into my apartment, like, he came and brought me pizza. So, like,
that's sweet.
Like, we're good friends. Yeah. Like, he's a good guy. Like, he even, like, helped me, like, take my couch apart, like, when my dad couldn't come down to help me. So, like, he's a really great friend. Nothing's going on. Like, he's seeing someone else. Like, I'm talking to other people. So everything is good with Zach.
Okay.
If you see him in YouTube videos, like,
just friends?
We're just friends.
Just friends. Okay. So going back to what you said about New York, talk about New York man, because isn't he coming around soon?
Yes.
So, okay. So spill the tea on him.
Okay, wait. So we have to add that there's more than one New York man, because in New York there were...
Okay, so how many people are on the roster currently?
On the roster, it's not like a full roster. Like, normally, last summer I would always have, like, around, like, 3 guys, and I wasn't, like, sleeping with all 3 guys or, like, hooking up with them. Like, I was just going on dates, and, like, normally one would, like, progress more than the other, and then I would, like, kind of, like, end things off with the other one and then, like, keep going with that one. Or if, like, there wasn't any, like, leader, like, I would just, like, phase them out and new men would come in and replace the players. Like, they would come off the bench.
Just rotation.
Like, if the star player didn't, like, follow through, or if there was no star player, then, like, next.
Thank you next.
So, like, right now, I would say it's, like, a half-ass roster. Like, there's no one, like, really like full
Shining.
force like right now. Like
Okay.
I don't know, but like there's like prospects.
Okay.
So we'll give code names. So there's New York Man, there's Coffee Man, which is Sean. We'll disclose his name, and then
Sean
The
Mendes.
on TikTok Live, they were saying our ship name is Lawn. Like
That's kinda
Lawn.
cute.
I don't know how I feel about
I
it.
kind of like it. Lawn.
Lawn.
It's cute.
I don't know. We'll
What
see.
else would it be?
They were also saying Shawnee.
Shalana?
Shawnee.
Oh my god,
or
imagine Shalana.
Shalana. Or they were saying Bendas, like our last names, like Bloomberg and Mendez.
I kind of like lawn.
Lawn.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Lawn. Like I could
Ship
see it.
lawn.
I could see it on a hat. Like lawn.
We already have merch, guys. Head to the link in the bio.
Merch lawn.
Merch.
I could see that. Cute.
Yeah. Okay, so we have
Coffee.
New York Man, Coffee Man, and then sort of new addition from this weekend, which is funny story. Like the photographer got a photo of us together.
Of you guys kissing?
No, we
Making out?
weren't kissing. We were
Okay.
dancing. It's actually really cute. I'll
Wait, is
show
this
you.
the one you told me about from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cute.
Here, wait. I'll show you.
You guys.
You guys can't see because unfortunately it's a podcast and you're listening, but I'm also not going to post this on my stories because he follows me. So
Oh wait, that is really cute. Okay,
We're like-
for context, they're holding hands, dancing, and looking into each other's eyes. It's very romantic.
like the photographer knew
Yeah,
what
wait,
they
that's
were
actually
doing.
really sweet. That's cute. So do you have plans with this one? Okay,
No.
this guy, what's his nickname? He's from around here.
He's Music Man.
okay, Music Man. He's
Not to be confused with Sean.
not, yeah, Sean is just
Coffee
Coffee.
Man. Because
I feel like, does Sean need a nickname? No. Sean Mendes?
Coffee Man.
Okay, fine. Coffee Man.
What if he's listening?
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so there's New York, coffee, and music. Music is the one in the picture.
Yes.
He's from Canada,
Yes.
like close by.
He's from Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, and he's your latest, but not top of the roster.
He's latest, but not top because we've only like spoken a few times since I saw him on Saturday. And honestly, what I liked about that man is that, like, I don't know, like sometimes like I feel like you make out with a guy on the dance floor and then you like go back to yours or you go back to theirs and like things progress super quickly and then like you don't talk to them ever again. And like we didn't do that. Like we left it on the dance floor sort of thing. And he got my Instagram. I mean, he didn't get my number. I mean, I DM'd him my number, but he hasn't texted me, so I don't have his number.
Music Man, what are you waiting on?
But like we've messaged a few times. I don't know. I'm not really thinking like
Yeah.
too much about things. Just go with the flow. But
Waiting
I
for
would
it to happen.
want to see him again.
Yeah, I hope you do. That was a cute picture. Like, I
It
feel like
was
it says
cute.
a lot. Okay, next question. Okay, so I already asked you. Okay, tell us about your last hookup. Like,
My
your
last
last
hookup?
sexy time.
Okay.
Is it any of the people on the roster?
It is not anyone on the roster.
Okay, so
But
you
he's-
left someone out. Okay, so tell us
this
about
man
it.
was taken off the roster because they're not talking anymore. But my
Okay.
friend's mom set this one up.
What an amazing lady.
And this woman is like also like kind of his boss. Like
Okay, also,
she's like
timeline. When was this?
4 weeks ago.
Okay.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, continue.
Like about a month,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
So random. Literally like a dick appointment. Like, mom, if you're listening to this, like get out.
Exit now.
Exit the chat.
Your time
You're
has
done.
come.
So I was out with my friend. I was with Corey, Jess, and then some of Jess's friends, and we were at like this bar near my apartment. And we had been texting, me and the man, and he was also downtown. So he lives a little bit more north, like he lives like midtown-ish, but he was downtown at like his friends, and like we were texting or whatever, and like he's like, "What are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm here." And then he ended up coming and meeting me outside the bar, and I was like sitting on this bench thing outside the bar, and I had to go find him because it was kind of like in an alleyway. Not sketchy at all. It sounds really
In
sketchy.
an alleyway.
In an alleyway in Atlanta.
After the bar.
Real classy.
Not sketchy.
It was not sketchy, I promise. Like the bar itself is kind of in an alleyway.
Wait,
So
which bar was it?
it's Parlor.
Oh, okay. Fun.
Yeah. So I had to go find him because he didn't know like where to go, because unless you've been to Parlor, like you don't really know where it is. So I had to go find him, and like I was scared I wasn't going to like recognize him because we had matched on Hinge like a while ago, and like we've been like in the same like social circles because like Jewish Bubble and like Thornhill, Toronto. But I never like met him in person. Like, I don't know. I was like,
I didn't know it was your first time meeting him.
oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Add that on top
Oh,
of the
okay.
equation.
Love that.
So I had to go find him, and he found me first, and then we like went back to the sketchy bench, and we're just like sitting talking. Like my intention's going into like meeting up with him on that night because we were supposed to like go for drinks or something. Like we were trying to plan that like leading up to that.
Okay.
We had been talking for like a week when he like randomly messaged me because the mom like set things up.
Okay.
So my intention was like, we'll just like hang, like we'll go maybe for like a lap around the block. Maybe he'll go back in the bar with me. Like maybe like we'll like kiss a little bit, but like nothing further than that.
Things took a turn.
But things definitely took a turn. And obviously it was all consensual, but we were talking, and then like one thing led to another, and like you know, like that awkward silence, or like you look into each other's eyes, and then like things got spicy. So then like we were making out or whatever, and then he's like, do you want to go back to yours? And like mine's literally like not that far. So I was like, sure.
Yeah.
I was like, why not? Like I don't really want to be like that girl making out in public. Like that's not my vibe. If it's yours, great, not mine.
Okay.
And then so we went to mine, and then like we were hooking up, and like things happened, and honestly it was pretty good. Like he was determined, like he was a good boy.
Wait, so like where is he now? Like
we like spoke a little bit, but then he was like kind of like not super like into the chat, so I was like,
you're like bye. Yeah.
I'm like,
but it was
whatever.
a fun night.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I don't regret like anything about it. Like
yeah, love that. Hot girl summer.
Yes.
And it's just the
starting off strong.
Okay, what's the most cringe thing you've ever done during sexy time? Like once like you've been like,
I don't know.
Kill me. Nothing comes to mind.
And nothing comes to mind. I don't think I've done anything, and I don't.
Okay,
To my
have
knowledge,
you had like anything ever happen like on the guy's end, and you're like, ick?
Oh
like,
my God.
You caught the ick.
So one guy last summer, just like super sweaty. Like he was a really great guy, like insane body, but like was so sweaty, like dripped on me. And I was like, I wanted to like wash my sheets afterwards. Like really nice guy, but just no. And then another time was in first year. Obviously like first year, like I was like a lot like less experience, and like I hadn't like really like explored or anything, and like he like kept trying to put things where I didn't want it. Like I'm not gonna like
oh my God. In the
you can use your imagination.
Wait, was he like, who was he? Like why was he trying to explore that area?
He was a guy. Like I went to like,
were you seeing him for a while, or
like we had hooked up before? I can't remember if that was our first or second hookup.
That's ambitious for like a second hookup.
Yeah, it was like our first or second hookup. Like we were in like the same like social circle. Like I always like went and partied at his like frat and everything. And like it was only his hand. It wasn't. But I like kept moving his hand, and he was like so determined. And like I was like, no, this is too early. Like no. And, like
he needs
19-year-old. I don't even think I was 19. I think I was 18 when this happened. And I was like, no. Absolutely no.
That is very ambitious for.
Like, I'm not comfortable with you. Like we haven't even like spoken about this. Like
oh my God. Ew. Okay, did you lose your virginity in university or before?
Before. So I lost it.
Who's the person? Like, you don't have to say his name, but are you guys still friends?
We are still friends. I wouldn't say like we talk all the time.
Okay, but spill whatever tea you want to spill about that first time.
Okay, so it was on my grade 12 grad trip called S Trip. We were in Punta Cana.
Okay.
And I think it was like
spinning then.
I think it was like the third night. And we had like hooked up before, like in high school, like at high school parties and whatnot. And like I was like really nervous. Like I remember like the first night, like everyone was like saying like, you guys will go in the shower and like you'll do this. And I was like freaking out to my friend Cora. I'm like, I can't do this. Like I'm not ready for this. Like I had like barely done anything with boys at this point. Like I had like just started going farther than kissing like November, and this was like March.
Okay.
And like I hadn't really done anything.
Okay. So it was all very new.
Yeah, it was all very new. Like, guys had done things to me. I hadn't done things to guys. So, like, I was like, I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know what to do with it. So,
What do I do with it?
So that night, the first night I pretended I was sick, but then, like, I ran into him in the hallway. So kind of got cover blown. Like, idiot me, like, being in the hallway. But then, like, on the third night, I was like, okay, like,
were you guys in different rooms? Everyone had their own hotel room.
So, like, the girls lived with the girls and the guys with the guys.
Okay.
I was with my friend Corey and Courtney, and then, like, he was with, like, his guy friends. I think it was actually during the day there was, like, a pool party, and, like, we were making out in, like, the pool or whatever, and, like, I'm, like, trying to remember. This is, like, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years ago. And I think, like, then we went back to his room, and, like, we were hooking up, and then, like, things, like, led to one another, and, like, he asked me, like, before, when we had hooked up, like, earlier that trip, like, I said no.
Oh, he asked before?
Yeah, he always asked, like, he knew, like, I was a virgin.
Okay.
And so before I had said no, and, like, at a different time when we were hooking up, second time when we were hooking up again, like, on that trip, we had hooked up before, I was like, yeah, and he's like, are you sure? Because, like, I had said no so many times before that, and I was like, yes, like, I'm sure. And at first, like, it hurt a little bit, but then I was, like, fine. It wasn't anything, like, super, like, adventurous, but, like, I don't regret not doing it with, like, someone I was dating or, like, had a lot of feelings for. Like, I felt very safe and comfortable with him, which I think is really important. Yeah. And, like...
And he asked.
Over and
over again.
Yes.
So that's, like, he didn't just go for it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And it wasn't, like, pressured or anything. Like, it was honestly, like, a really great experience, and, like, I wouldn't go back and change anything. Like, it didn't make things awkward or anything.
Did you guys continue to hook up after that? Or was that just kind of like a one-time?
It was just like that, and then, like, that was it.
But still friends?
Yes.
Okay. That's cute then.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you on any apps right now? And, like, what's your go-to pickup line, or do you just kind of let the guy do the work?
Okay, so I have Locks Club, which is, like, kind of like
I've heard of
it's
that.
like the Jewish version of Raya, but I think, like, you don't have to be Jewish to be on it. It's just like predominantly marketed towards Jews.
Okay.
You have to be, like, approved to be on it, and you have to pay. So I have that, but, like, I don't really use it because it's mostly New York based.
Oh.
So, like, I can't really, like, meet up with any of the people unless I were to go to New York. And then I have Raya for a month. Like, I just paid for it for a month.
Do you like Raya? Like, have you gone on any dates from them?
No, I haven't gone on any dates from it. I find, like, a lot of the guys are honestly, like, just, like, pricks and, like...
Wait, do you go on a lot of dates weekly from, like, the apps, or, like, not really?
I was last summer and, like, into the fall going on a lot of dates from Hinge. Like, Hinge was my go-to. I don't have it right now. I haven't had it since I've gotten home from New York. The only time I've, like, downloaded it is, like, for 2 seconds, and then I'm like, I don't want it anymore.
I feel like I hear horror stories about the apps here.
Like, I've had good experiences. Has anything, like, really worked out? No, I've had, like, maybe 2 things come out of it. Nothing long-term, obviously. Like, I'm single.
Yeah.
But, like, they're not terrible. I just, like, you see the same people over and over again, and it gets, like, old really fast. And I've just learned that I'd rather meet someone in person organically.
I feel like you've been having lots of, like, good, like, meetups in person. Like, I think those 2 guys you met were, like, introduced by mutual friends. So I think you're on the right track.
Yeah. Also, when you meet someone, like, through a friend, there's more accountability. Like, there's less likely of a chance of them ghosting you or them treating you badly because your friends know who they are, and, like, they'll know if he does something bad.
Also, I feel like there's, like, already immediate things to talk about. Like, I feel like it's less
you have
awkward.
Like, more common ground. You also feel a lot more safer going out on that first date. I have been on dates with, like, complete, like, strangers, and it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. You have to be, like, really, like, safe about it. Like, let your friend know, like, where you're going and everything. And, like, I have my friends have me on Find My Friends.
That's good.
But I just, like, I prefer, like, meeting organically. Not that, like, Hinge isn't organic, but
I get what you're saying.
It's just, like, it's not for me, and I don't like how I feel when I'm swiping. Like, I feel like I'm looking at a catalog, and I'm, like, starting to be, like, super materialistic, and, like,
being super busy can make it really easy to fall into a dinner time recipe rut, or even with your lunches. Any meal, honestly, can get you into a rut, especially with a busy schedule this fall. You can keep mealtime exciting with over 40 recipes to choose from every single week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. It's truly a no-brainer. It does all the shopping and meal planning for you. Ingredients arrive at your doorstep, pre-proportioned and ready to cook, along with pictured step-by-step recipe cards. It's never been easier. I personally love HelloFresh as a way to get exposure to new recipes, make my life a bit easier as a busy 20-year-old in the city. And I love that it's worry-free, it's super easy, it's convenient, and gets delivered straight to my door. Go to hellofresh.com/50ray and use code 50ray for 50% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/50RAE and use code 50RAE, 50RAE for 50% off plus free shipping. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit, and thank you for sponsoring today's episode of Morning Ray.
Cosmetic, like I don't know, like I start to like
you're
value,
just looking
like,
at like
I
the
value
picture.
like looks and height
that's all you
and
can
like
really
career
see. Yeah,
as
yeah.
like the only things, when like those are not like the main like things that are important to me.
Yeah.
Like to me it's like personality and like their values and their morals and like the way that they treat their friends and their family and like
that makes so much
staff
sense.
and everything.
Because if you meet someone in person for the first time, then you're not just like looking at their appearance. Like you actually get to see who they are as a person. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like obviously, like I want like to be physically attracted to someone.
Yeah, but that's not
like,
everything.
I want like our lifestyles to be like similar, like in multiple areas, but like I feel like Hinge really causes you to focus on these like certain things, and like maybe it's different for other people, but like that's what I've noticed with me, and I just don't like it. Like I'm not that type of person. I don't want to be that type of person. So I just rather meet in person. And then there's also not like all this stress. Like I feel like when you like talk too much like on text before a first date, it kind of like ruins it.
Yeah. And then you get there and you're like, well, we've talked about everything. So what's next?
Yeah, what's next? Or like you got like nervous about that.
So Hinge is a no-go. Just like
if you want a dating app, I would go for Hinge over like Bumble, Tinder,
oh my God, yeah,
whatever else there is. I just have Locks Club because I've like partnered with them in the past, and I just like I have a free membership, so I have it, and it's like.
Have you met anyone on Locks Club or just?
My last like long-term thing was through Locks Club, but it was also I also kind of met him through Hinge, so it was like both.
And did you like? Is he in New York or he was here?
No, he was here. So there's like there are a few Toronto people,
but it's mostly catered to America.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that guy is done.
He's dating someone else. He lives in Texas.
Oh, how do you end up there?
I think he got a job there. I
don't know. Bye. Okay, if there's any cute guys listening who want to slide into your DMs, what's your favorite date spot in Toronto?
I like being shown something new, like a cool like bar or like restaurant. Like I'm such a foodie. Like I like when like the vibes are really cool. Like, don't take me to, like, Earl's or
oh my God, no.
Joey's.
No.
Or, like, so Ruby Soho. Like, take me somewhere unique that's cool and vibey. Like, maybe a spot on Ossington. I know, like, people are, like, saying, like, Ossington is, like, the new King West. But
really? People are
starting to say that. I'm like, no, I love Ossington.
I love Ossington. I feel like it's not the new King West.
I don't know. People keep saying that. I'm like,
oh my God, I haven't heard that. So then where would be the new Ossington? Like, where's the spot then?
I think like Ossington and College are like really cool and vibey.
I love Ossington.
And like they all have like their own like quirky little spots.
Dundas is so cute too. Like,
yeah.
Dundas West has such cute little bars.
Yeah, Dundas too.
Oh my God, I did not know that was what people were saying about Ossington. That's sad.
Yeah, so like take me somewhere cool and unique, not like the classic like finance bro spot.
Yeah, like put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Like show your personality.
Yeah.
Okay, then what's your go-to date outfit?
Date outfit? Okay, so I don't really have like a go-to this summer, but last summer it was always my Princess Polly. Like this is like nothing else is like working or like I'm kind of in a rush. I'm throwing this on. My Princess Polly asymmetrical blue jeans, which are like the Goldie crisscross.
Yeah. Oh, I have those from Abercrombie.
And then the Aritzia TNA, I'm wearing it in gray right now, but like the ribbed racer back crop tank. And then if it's a bit chillier, I would put like on my fake leather like blazer jacket. Okay. And then sneakers because I'm a sneaker gal. And then like a little black shoulder bag.
Oh, cute. I'm wearing that same shirt right now. in black.
I love it.
It's the
It's
best.
my favorite thing.
Okay, what is your goal for the end of the summer relationship wise? Like, are you on the hunt or are you just kind of like hot girl summering?
Okay, here's the thing. Everyone's always like, it comes when you're not looking, blah, blah, blah.
I think I did tell you that too.
Everyone,
Yeah.
every single person. Like, I understand because like when I have been in flings, it's always like flings because I've never had like someone ask me, do you want to be my girlfriend?
I don't even think they do that anymore though. So
But like nothing, like
don't hold your
nothing,
breath.
like nothing official.
That far. Wait, never official with anyone?
No, I've been exclusive.
Okay, but no, like official, like met the family.
In high school once.
Okay, but not for reals.
But
For reals.
no,
Okay.
like nothing like since then.
Okay, continue.
And because like obviously in high school they're gonna meet your parents.
Yeah.
Where,
Anyway,
where
like
else
at the
they're
dance,
gonna hang out.
yeah, at the movie
Um,
theater when they pick you up.
I wouldn't say like my goal for the summer is like I want to be in a relationship, I want to have a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Would that be nice? Yes. Am I dating now and only like continuing to see people if I see potential in them, like to be a boyfriend, to later down be like a husband and like want to marry them? Yes, I'm a bit more intentional, but am I opposed to like summer flings and like casual hookups? No, but I'm not actively seeking it this summer. Like I'm not like on Hinge. I'm not like constantly trying to set up dates. If dates come to me, if people come to me, then
Yeah.
I'll say yes and I'm open to it. Like for example, like last weekend, like I clicked with Music Man and like we made out or whatever, and like I'd be interested in seeing him again, but I'm not like out here like trying to like build a roster and like
Yeah,
have
you're
all
like
these
not
people.
seeking it. Okay, so will you? Okay, since Music Man seems to be like a good fit, would you reach out to him? Like, why don't you text him right now and say let's hang out this weekend?
Because we haven't spoken like since Tuesday, so I
Okay.
don't know. I don't want to be
Oh,
like
it's Tuesday. It's only Thursday. That's 2 days. Are you kidding?
I'm used to. I like people texting me. a
But
lot.
what was like the conversation theme on Tuesday?
He sent me a picture of his coffee and was like best coffee order ever.
Oh my god! So why didn't you follow up with like?
I sent him a
Let's
picture
get
of
coffee
Tim
to
Beebs
get. Oh my god! Why didn't you like? I feel like
because I
that's such
sent
a good-
him my number and he didn't do anything with it.
What if he's playing hard to get?
I don't know.
Like, what if he's?
I feel
waiting
like
for you?
boys are not like that.
But boys are also so dumb. Like, you could send him your phone number and he could be like, "Oh, cool, like, nice." Like, they literally are so stupid. Like, I feel like he probably like you could be not. They're so dumb.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Like, shoot your shot,
Okay.
right? I feel like that
I
picture.
feel okay. The thing is, I've like obviously in therapy, like I notice like patterns that I have and like we discuss them, and like it's always like me like being like giving off like masculine energy, like making the first move with any like thing that's kind of like lasted longer, but it always ends up like failing, I guess, like not working out. So I want to like try break the pattern and
Okay,
see,
and then have somebody just like come to
yeah,
you.
like except I'll be the man with Sean. If
Except you will not go
not-
and say so. Like, don't even go there. Okay, so
I mean, you go and walk up to
I
him.
mean, well, I'm not in. I don't have a secret love affair with Sean, so like I wouldn't do that. But you and Sean make eye contact like almost every day. So I feel like
I
at
sound
this
like a
point,
psycho person, but I kid you not. Like, it's not just like I think we're making eye contact or like it's happened once or twice. Like, I know like there's a bunch of girls in Toronto on TikTok who have like run into him in Kensington or like run into him on the street and they're like, I smiled at Sean. I'm like, no, this has happened like every single morning, like in multiple spots. Like, we've been in a coffee shop alone together. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, unless like he's like up in La La Land, like
he has to have noticed you. And like now, where is he? He's nowhere to be found.
He's not
and
here.
You still haven't said hi, Sean. I love you.
well, he's not. I can't say I love you.
Okay, but you could say, "Hey, Sean, how are you?" Or you had such a good line. You had a good line that you're gonna say. You had it all like in your
We
head.
keep bumping into each other. I don't want it to like, Kate, but like, it's the act of walking up to him.
Okay, comment a coffee emoji on Alana's post when this drops if she should go up to Sean next time she sees him and say hi. If she gets more than one coffee emoji, she has to do it.
Now you're making it really easy
Yeah.
for them. I mean, like, if you're still here, we're like at like the 40-minute mark. If you're still here, like,
Drop a coffee emoji
okay,
and Alana will say hi.
okay, I'll do it. We'll have to shake on it.
Yeah, you literally have to. You what's that quote? You miss 100 of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You miss 100 of the shots you don't take.
I don't think that's right, but it's something like that. And I think people would get what we're saying. You miss, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Like, you gotta say hi.
Okay. We will do it.
Yeah.
I will make a fool of myself. But
No, I mean, literally, like, you wouldn't make a fool of yourself.
I mean, he's a nice guy. Like, I've heard him, like fans go up to him and be like, I love your music and he's nice, but, like, I don't know. Like, this is different.
No, but you can just be like, hey, like, I've been seeing you so many times.
I feel like we keep running into each other.
Yeah, like, I feel like you can say it in a way that it's not like, oh my God, let's go back to your place. Like, so forward, where he's like...
Imagine.
Like, you should, but, like, you don't have to start like that. Like, I feel like you can... There can be a mid-ground where it's like, you know...
Yeah.
Like, it
like imagine if, like, we exchange numbers.
Yeah.
Manifesting it.
Like, imagine...
Manifesting witch over here.
Imagine you come back in, like, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you're like, so I'm going out with Sean. Like, can you imagine the uproar? Yeah. You'll never know unless you say hi. Like, you literally could be
but he's going on tour.
You could be in the tour bus.
Maybe I'll be Haley.
You could literally be in the tour bus with Sean, but you will not know unless you say hi. So,
okay,
what are you waiting for?
Okay, well, say hi. You're gonna hold me accountable.
I've tried.
We're trying over here.
We're trying.
I will never get over when you texted me and you were like, "Did you see him this morning?" I was like, "No," and then I got up and he was literally. I literally think my jaw dropped open when I turned around.
And then you didn't say hi.
Well, because it's with his mom.
I don't blame you. Like, I feel like honestly, I couldn't do it either. But I feel like might be like your husband, so you could be missing out on like your husband.
You've heard it here first.
Yep, husband.
Future predictions, but let's wrap up the episode. Thanks so much for coming on the pod.
Oh, thank you for having me. That was so fun.
It was so fun, and this drink, the Olipop, was great. What flavor was it again?
This was the lemon ginger, but my favorite one is the tropical fruit. So I'd recommend the tropical fruit.
Okay.
But this one mixes well with tequila.
Yeah, so we
did
like
a margarita.
A little Casamigos, we did a little Olipop, we did a little lime, and we had good vibes, good energy. Yeah. Let me know if you like this episode. Let me know if you want to do more episodes with Spencer, more listener interviews me episodes. But if you like this episode, make sure to leave a rating on Spotify. You can now do that if you'd like. I'd love it. And then you can also leave a rating and review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. I love you guys so much, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
Celebrity voice impersonation not an endorsement.
Why go to a single furniture store when you can go to Big Sandy Superstore? Shop and compare America's top 5 mattress brands, plus Nectar and Purple. And choose from over 22,000 in-stock appliances from the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Or furnish the room of your dreams with a large selection of American-built furniture. With financing plans for just about anyone, there's nowhere else quite like it. Big Sandy Superstore.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.